Today we are on number 62. When everyone is in the wrong, no quarrels. The secret of a happy home life. A family that was always at loggerheads lived side by side with a family that was as peaceful as could be. A, the head of the quarrelsome family, was mystified by how well everyone got along next door. Finally, one day he called on B and said in desperation, "Our family is always quarreling, as I'm sure you can tell, and I don't know what to do about it. I see that everyone in your family gets along beautifully. Please tell me what your secret is." B replied, "There's no secret in particular. It's probably because everyone in your family is always in the right. Over here, all of us are always in the wrong, so there is no quarreling. That's all there is to it." Certain that he was being ridiculed, A was about to explode in anger when a loud crash sounded from inside the house. It sounded as if a piece of crockery had fallen to the floor. The voice of a young woman said penitently, "Mother, I'm so sorry, all because I didn't look where I was going. I went and broke that dish that meant so much to you. It's my fault. Please forgive me." "Nonsense," said the voice of her mother-in-law. "It's not your fault at all. I kept meaning to put the dish away and never got around to it. I never should have left it there in the first place. I'm the one who has to apologize." Then it dawned on A. "I get it. Everyone in this family is always in the wrong and says so. That's why there is no quarreling. I cannot condemn others, though their sins be red as wine, for truly their offenses pale next to those of mine." Very good. This is actually my favorite story in the book because it can change how we view life completely. And it's a biggest game changer, I think, for a spiritual person to be able to see things in this way. And this poem at the end, which is might sound kind of mysterious to people, it's from the perspective of a person um, who reaches enlightenment. All their flaws and shortcomings, their true nature as a human being comes to sharp focus. Nothing is left hidden from their view. So thanks to that uh, wisdom of the Buddha that they come in contact with, they can see, they get illuminated. All the seeds of karma in their alaya consciousness or in their true self get illuminated, and they can see everything for the first time very objectively. Usually, we're not objective enough because we are more forgiving of ourselves and less forgiving of other people. And we are more judgmental towards other people and less judgmental towards ourselves. So there is some bias. That's the part of going forward on our spiritual journey, is to understand our biases and wrong views whenever it deviates from the truth. In a sense, we are truth seekers in our own lives. Most people seek the truth, quote unquote, truth in politics or something out there, um, which they can never find it because it's always going to be tainted by that subjectivity. For us, we are seeking the truth as it's reflected in the mirror of Dharma. So it's not through the lens of the mind or the self, it's all reflected in the mirror of Dharma. And yeah, so as we learn the teachings and go forward, little by little, we begin to see how quick we are to point finger at others and blame them for any mishaps or issues that occur. that's human instinct or human condition, because the default assumption is I'm never wrong, I'm always right. So if something is wrong, it must be my roommate's fault, or it must be my husband's fault, or it must be the neighbor's fault. If we become aware of the foolishness of this default assumption, we can become more objective in our investigation of the truth. And just like the lotus flower grows only out of the mud, the beautiful flower of enlightenment will actually grow only out of that mud of the out of that mud, and yet it doesn't get stained by it. So yeah, if we remain on the highland, we cannot grow any lotus flowers. Lotus flowers don't grow on the highland, the dry land. So it has to be the lowest point, which is the mud, the muck. Yeah, so it's not easy. That's why we don't see too many enlightened people around us. It's actually very painful to confront our own flaws and shortcomings and make self improvements, constant steady self-improvements. It's not easy, but the fruits of happiness we gain, we don't lose them. They will always be with us. That's the beauty of seeking lasting joyfulness. So good job, everyone, for being here practicing together. Today is Monday. We're going to have the Right View Lab at 8 p.m. Pacific, and have a wonderful start of your week. Bye.